Here we go. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe button. Don't forget to tell a friend. Here we have another crazy story. Bay Zoo. He's not a normal person. They said he belonged in a zoo, but for some strange reason, he's still in society. This is who Bay Zoo really is, though.
AKA THF BAY ZOO, AKA Big Boss Zoo.
It's that time on full now.
BAY ZOO comes from that THF 46 set, also known as the 4624 Hit Squad, Gutter Gang, and Trigger Happy Family. They're located in the Kenwood area off of 46 and Woodline. You could
imagine that. Did they say Trigger Happy Family? Imagine that. What a name. That's what I'm saying. Bay Zoo, he's a legend within his own. They say he's one of the last ones standing in Chicago right now. One of them OGs, if you know what I mean.
Find them on 44th and Greenwood, 44th and Princeton, and 47th and Ellis. They were originally known to be in the 4624 building on Ellis and the 4554 building on Drexel. They're a mixture of mostly MCs and BDs. They're clicked up with O-Block, Blackgate, 600, and Lamron.
The real guys.
They beef with 757, Touch Money, MOB, and their main beef is with 051 Young Money. Young Money.
Don't forget these individuals from Chicago. They beef with everybody. They click up. They call it click up. Become friends. Then something normally happens. Most times, normally, I'm not going to say that. Is it over a female? I don't know. It's over something, though. Imagine that. Imagine being over something, though.
HF have been into it since 2007. But the gunplay really started in the year 2008.
That gunplay.
Key from 46 killed Zico from Young Money. Authorities say FBI agents in Indianapolis have arrested a fugitive wanted in the fatal shooting of a college student on Chicago's South Side last fall. Chicago police say 18-year-old Isaiah Walker was shot multiple times during an altercation in the parking lot of a Southside McDonald's last September 27th.
Bad man.
Prosecutors later charged 18-year-old Ike Walton with one count of first-degree murder in the shooting, but he fled the state.
Don't forget these individuals. I mean, I guess they live how they live. Imagine that. Imagine living how you live. Crash out dummies. Do they be driving fast? Most likely. I'll never forget that Skinny Me. Skinny Me say, you know what? You know what Skinny Me, you know what Skinny Me said. Imagine that. Imagine what Skinny Me said.
So you gonna get killed in 08, I'm cute fun. Just somebody died in 10, right? Never heard of him. What?
Ironically, before the beef came about, some members from both sets were cool with each other, or at least cordial enough to play on the same basketball team. BAY ZOO began his street life at a very young age, as being in the streets of Chicago has become more of a tradition than a way of life. And if that's the path you choose...
So don't forget, this is videos about BAY ZOO. Don't forget, he was a younger criminal back then, but now he's an older criminal. Imagine that. Imagine being a younger criminal, then you become an older criminal. BAY ZOO say, you know what? I'm never getting out of the streets. Why would I get out of the streets? I love the streets. Imagine loving something. Unbelievable if you think about it, though.
And you're not willing to do certain things, then the streets won't respect you. BAY ZOO's name had to be solidified. On July 5th, 2009, a guy by the name of Dominic Barnes from the set Dirty Low would end up being killed.
Okay.
And THF BAY ZOO would end up being charged with his murder almost 5 years later.
Really?
A Chicago man was denied bail Friday after he was charged with the fatal shooting during the 4th of July weekend in 2009. Devontae Collier, 24, was arrested early Wednesday.
Imagine that, the 4th of July. The 4th of July. Don't forget the 4th of July. When I mean it's turned up in Chicago, if you don't believe me, imagine that. I'm making this video on the 3rd of July. So tomorrow, I'll make another video, and I'll tell you how the 4th of July was. I don't know if it's a celebration or if it's just a reason to commit unnecessary crimes. Imagine that. using their firearms for unproductive reason. Imagine that. Imagine using your firearm for unproductive reason. But many years ago, Bay Zoo, younger Bay Zoo, I'm sure he doesn't do it anymore. Imagine still indulging in nonsense. But they said that when he was younger, he used to be one of those individuals who used to go and say, it's the 4th of July. Gives me a reason, to pull a trigger. Imagine that. I'm just talking entertainment purposes, but it really happened though. Bay Zoo, they said that he's one of the last ones standing. Imagine that. Unbelievable though.
At the southwest suburban Orland Park home of rapper Dirk Banks, who was also taken into custody and charged with weapons violations after 2 guns were found in the house. Collier is charged with shooting to death Dominic Barnes, 21, in the 4700 block of Forestville Avenue.
Imagine that. 2 guns, not just one. These individuals, they say, you know what? I don't know what they say, but they're bringing 2 guns instead of just one. They're violent. But Bay Zoo, they say he's not only is he violent, but he's lucky. They say, you know what? He committed crimes and he got away with it. Imagine committing crimes and getting away with it. He made a song about it. Imagine that. You go check out that song if you don't believe me. Unbelievable. Think about it though.
In the Bronzeville neighborhood, Bay Zoo would end up getting caught with a pistol in 2013 and being charged with being an armed habitual offender. He would soon make bond and then later on be charged with the murder.
What the fuck you doing at
Bad.
Before they put a body on me, I bonded out there, they put a body on me.
And when you giving out smoke in the city of Chicago,
like I say, Bay Zoo's an unknown person. Imagine that. Imagine somebody putting a body on you. You say, you know what, Your Honor, I didn't do it. But maybe he didn't do it. Imagine that. Imagine being accused of something he didn't really do. That's what he's saying, but you'll never know. But at the same time, you know what? He's saying, you know what? I caught a body and I beat it. That's what he said. But hear what he's saying right now, though. If you don't believe me.
9 times out of 10, you bound to receive some yourself. Bay Zoo would end up being shot not even 2 years after the death of Dominic.
Okay.
He would end up losing a good friend, a guy that went by the name of Quint, or Quentin Turner. 3 male victims were shot and wounded by gunfire from the passing vehicle just before 5 p.m. in the 800 block of East 46th Street, said police spokesman Officer John Marabella, citing early reports. Police didn't release a description of the vehicle. Quentin Turner, 18, was shot multiple times and pronounced dead at 5:45.
Imagine that. Imagine being young and no longer around. Unbelievable. Imagine being on that t-shirt. Unbelievable. 18 years old. Don't forget, did they stop wearing diapers at 5 years old? Or was it 4 years old? Imagine that. Matter of fact, I heard a baby was wearing diapers at 6 years old. So 6 years old to 18 years old, that's 12 years later. Now you're on that shirt. R.I.P. this man right here. But I said, these individuals, they're violent, they're brutal. When will it change? Who set the trend? Who could say, you know what, enough is enough? Or is it too late? I don't know. It's never too late for anything. Imagine that. Imagine never too late for anything.
Yeah, at Mercy Hospital and Medical Center, according to the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office. Police said he suffered a gunshot wound to the head. A 20-year-old man suffered gunshot wounds to his leg and ankles. And a 17-year-old boy suffered a broken leg from a gunshot.
Violent criminals. Do they belong in jail? Most likely. Imagine that.
Did you get shot then? I got shot at 11.
Wow.
All right, well, you got shot, right? Yeah. You got shot and then somebody checked, right? All right, we ain't gonna
It's unbelievable. Don't forget, these individuals, they're not normal. Are they barbarians? Most likely. That's why, unfortunately, most of them are no longer around. Imagine no longer being around. You was here today. Imagine that. Imagine no longer being around. Promoting nonsense. these individuals promote nonsense. They want to unalive individuals, and when they get unalive, they say, wow, that happened to him too. Imagine that. Imagine that happened to you too. It's crazy if you think about it, though.
So, all right, look, we ain't gonna be doing it on the internet. That ain't for the internet. We ain't gonna do that. Look, man. All right, now don't call me dude. We ain't gonna do that on the internet.
Despite Bay ZOO being indicated in the murder of Dominic by one of his longtime friends, he would still end up beating the case. And when Bay ZOO got out, he explained in a post that he made
Bay ZOO's a bad
just
man.
how he felt about the betrayal.
Bay ZOO's a bad man.
I don't give a fuck who bro call and try to manipulate
Imagine
that nigga
that.
rap.
Imagine
if you
that.
communicate with them and you condone the same shit. I almost lost my freedom to
I
that fuck
told you,
nigga. And on my
Bay
son
ZOO is a
head,
bad
he can
man.
die
He's not
tonight.
a regular
I
person.
never lied on no nigga.
He ain't never
Just got a
lied to
nigga jammed
nobody
up.
ever. Why
All I
would
know
do
is
that right
loyalty.
now?
ZOO was somewhat involved in music early on, but he never really took it serious.
Nah, he ain't
After
taking it
fighting
serious.
his case in the county for 4 years, then being released, he would jump back into the rap game.
They say it's very hard for Bay ZOO to take anything serious because he always have to worry about his up and coming court cases. Imagine that. Imagine always have to worry about your up and coming court cases. Also at the same time, they said Bay ZOO, he's so lucky. For example, the amount of time he went to jail, the fact that he's still free right now is unbelievable. They said Lil Durk wish he was lucky as Bay ZOO. Imagine that. Imagine me as lucky as Bay ZOO. They said Lil Durk said, you know what? If Bay ZOO could commit all these crimes, I'm just talking, don't forget, this is only for entertainment purposes. But Lil Durk is probably saying, you know what? If Bay ZOO committed all these crimes and could be able to get out, why can't I commit crimes to get out too? Imagine that. Don't forget. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what anybody's thinking. I don't even know what I'm talking about, believe it or not. Imagine that. Imagine not knowing what you're talking about.
At first, this time having his longtime friend Lil Durk to back him up. In 2018, Bay ZOO and King Von would drop their hit record, Beat That Body, gaining both him and Von national attention. King Von would end up becoming bigger than life before his untimely demise in 2020. But Bay ZOO would kind of fall back more on the street side.
Don't forget, Beat That Body. I heard that song. I liked it. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine liking a song that's called Beat That Body. These individuals, they was blessed and fortunate. They took it for granted. Definitely King Von, he's no longer here. Instead of going to church and saying, you know what, I beat that body, no more violence around me. No more weapons, no more bad guys, no more anything. I beat a body. I was blessed, I was fortunate, but no. They say, you know what, I'm gonna double dip. Imagine double dipping, double down. So you know what? He said, you know what? I'm gonna brag about it. Imagine bragging about something. I beat that body, man. Unbelievable. They said Bay ZOO is more collective. Don't forget, he's older. He's like a dinosaur. Imagine me like a dinosaur. Old man gangster. I mean, imagine that. Imagine me an old man gangster. Like a dinosaur. Unbelievable. Think about it.
ZOO would end up becoming a very big internet personality, speaking his mind, beefing with ops, and most knowingly, going live with one of his main ops, 051 Melly.
Y'all scared of me for real. Y'all scared of me, bro. Time I come and keep it at me, y'all done went live with y'all bust y'all shit.
Old man gangster.
Y'all scared of me, man.
Old man
Y'all
gangster.
scared of me.
Y'all scared of me.
On my son, y'all scared of me.
On my son, y'all scared of me.
Y'all that. On Kyle,
Y'all
money
scared
ain't
of
no
me.
shit 757.
Y'all saying
Ain't no op listen to me on shit at
y'all
all.
scared of me. Y'all scared of me. Y'all scared of me. They said these individuals from Chicago, they're real crash out dummies. They say you could be enemies and say, you know what, I want to talk to my enemy. Imagine that. Imagine wanting to see what my enemy look like. He's so pretty. Imagine that. Imagine having a pretty enemy. I'm just talking. Or maybe imagine that. Imagine my enemy's not that pretty. I'm just talking. But either way, they said these individuals from Chicago, they're so disrespectful. They have no respect for life. They think life's a joke. Imagine that. I'm just talking. Don't forget this on for entertainment purposes. But either way, Bay Zoo, he's one of the last ones standing, they said. He's almost 100 years old. Imagine that. Imagine almost being 100 years old.
I ain't no shit. I ain't no shit. I see you, Chuck. I ain't talking about that. No, you ain't outside. You in the crib.
Imagine that. Imagine being almost 100 years old.
Man, you don't even drink.
Is that the truth? Is that really the truth? Is Bay Zoo almost 100 years old? Imagine that. He might be. He looks like it. Imagine that. I'm just making it. He don't look like 100 years old. He look about 85. I mean, not 85. You know what I mean? He looks about, doesn't matter how he looks. But here's what's going on right now. Bay Zoo is one of the last ones standing. He's over 30 years old. And he looks over 30 years old. And they said in Chicago, that gang life right there, once you're over 30 years old, you're a real OG. Because most of the individuals, they said they started playing with firearms since they were so young. Imagine that. Imagine playing firearms so young. So that's what's going on with Bay Zoo right here. They say he's one of the best to do it because he's still around. He's almost 100 years old. So he made it. Till next time they say crime no paper, I see him do it, I see him do it. Don't forget this on for entertainment purpose. I'm just talking, that's it.
Not happening. I'm trying to catch you drunk. When I'm drunk, I'm be super prepared, man. The way I be out here. I was drunk. I was just drunk recently. The way I be out here loose.
Okay.
Like a thought.
Goofies.
I'm ready to catch your ass drunk.
Belly gone at him. They caught him.
I ain't gonna catch you. You with the gang? You with the gang?
Bay Zoo was so right. He said, I bet I catch you. He said more than that, but you know what I mean. You with the gang, I bet I catch you. They caught him. Imagine that. They said he was partying. Imagine partying as a gangster. Don't forget, as a real gangster, all you gotta do is just, let's get into it. Imagine that. Imagine getting into it.
Okay. Y'all all type of shit, man. I don't even know how to throw the wires up. How you throw all that? Come on, y'all type of shit. Come on, don't start that. Y'all all type of shit now, man.